going to switch
Good
these out.
morning and welcome to Reuzel Live. Today is Monday, May 23rd. My name is Nicholas Giverson with Reuzel Education, and introducing to you the busiest barber I know, live from Greenville, South Carolina, Scumbassador Keon Washington. Take it away, Keon.
Take it away. Take it away. Thank you, Nick, so much for introducing me. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I was going to say good morning, but good afternoon, and welcome to the class on this beautiful Monday. It happens to be a rainy Monday here, but we're going to make the best of it, and hopefully y'all get some great education out of the day that you can take back home and apply in your own barbershop. First of all, thank Reuzel for having me on this live. I'm going to try to make this class one of the best classes you've all had thus far. Today, this is my incredible model, Manny, and we're going to do a ball fade, and we're going to use my 1-2-3 technique, and I'm going to break it down the way that Reuzel has shown me how to teach haircuts. Side to side, we're going to go from left to right in each panel, and every move that we do, we will execute on one side, and we will repeat on the other side, and hopefully it gives us a consistent and incredible end result. So today, we're not going to use very many products, but I'm excited for the ones that we're going to use. We have some Reuzel Beard Serum. I love this stuff. I love the smell of it. Y'all already know what it's like, so I don't have to tell you about it. It's just an incredible product. We have some of the Reuzel beard foam. I love the wood and spice. Of all the beard foams and beard waxes and balms, the wood and spice collection happens to be one of my favorites. This one right here, hands down, is a go-to, and this is really incredible. And whenever I'm dealing with hair that is textured or has a wave pattern, these are my go-to products, the red and blue. Now, some people may prefer the wax ones like a pink or a green, but the red and blue just happens to be everything. So that's all we're going to need for today's class, and we're going to get started. I want to make sure we utilize this 45 minutes, hour time very efficiently. So I'm just going to jump right into the lesson. If anybody has a question, put it in chat, and I will try to get my good buddy Nick Fury. Nick is the man. I can't speak enough on how good Nick is, but Nick will ask those questions out loud to me so I can make sure to answer. If it requires a longer answer, please DM me. I'm on Instagram at Keon the Barber, KeonTheBarber on Instagram, on Facebook at Keon the Barber Official, and Keon Washington. So any questions you may have that require a longer-winded answer, please feel free to reach out. Now, we're going to go ahead and kick this cut off. One of the things that I like to do is plenty of barbers will use their brushes. It depends on where you're at and what state and how they go about brushes and the laws on them. Of course, whenever I'm using them, I'm treating them just like combs. I'm sanitizing them. And even though they're clean and I've made sure they're clean, I'll spray it with my 5-in-1 and let it sit and just let it kind of air out a little bit. If I'm in a smooth time, I'll just give it a little bit of air to speed it up. But I want to overly disinfect everything because you can never be too clean. Nobody will ever complain about you overly disinfecting things. And we're going to go ahead and start off. So I'm going to switch out one of my AirPods because I don't need them both at the same time. But I'm going to ask a question just to continuously check here and there on my audio and visual. On my audio, am I clear? Can you still hear me good? Let me know.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, perfect. All right, so what we're going to do on here is we're going to establish our guideline. This is the wall cordless. Let me take it back. This is a clipper that I turned into a cordless balding clipper. I have a balding blade on this clipper. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to set my guideline baseline, or what I call the origin weight line. This is where the fade originates from. Now, if the client wants low fade, mid fade, high fade, we acknowledge that and determine that in the consultation. And a good way to recognize what's low, mid, or high, you got one finger above the ear. That's your low fade. 2 fingers above the ear, that's your mid fade. And 3 fingers above the ear, that's your high fade area. Now, a high fade is not to be confused with a high and tight. A high and tight, it goes all the way up to basically the parietal ridge where the head curves over, and it just stops abruptly. It's almost no transition in between. So that's the cop that gives you a ticket no matter when you get pulled over every single time. If he has a high and tight with a flat top, you get a ticket. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I said we're going to give him like a mid fade. So what I like to do when I'm establishing a fade, if you're doing a high fade, start your guideline in the mid fade area. If you're doing a mid fade, start your guideline in the low fade area. That way you have an area that can be the fade zone. The problem with a lot of people is they'll do a high fade and they'll start their guideline out at the high area. And now when they're fading, they have nowhere else to take the hair to but up. So you end up going too high every single time. So what I'm doing right now is if you see me, I'm creating my guideline baseline. And what I'm doing is my arm is relaxed. It's in the locked position, and my hand is the one doing the cutting, wrist and hand. So my arm is going left and right. My wrist and fingers are going up and down. So I'm locked in with the arm, and I create my first guideline, and then I'll turn them. And it's easy having a barber chair because you can just lift it and rotate it. So I have all this cleaned up, and you want to go ahead and clean all that area down there. If you're in a rush and you want to do a speed fade, then don't worry about cleaning this bottom portion. Just worry about where the fade is, right? So if I'm trying to hurry up and get the fade done, I place, and I won't worry about any of the hair below. I'll just worry about the hair right here where the fade is starting from, and I'll focus on that, do that, and then at the end of it, I'll come back and clean up all this hair because it requires no skill. Good to go. I appreciate it. And that was our model. We did a class before this class started, so I have a model who's currently leaving the shop. Thank you for it. You owe us nothing. We just appreciate you. Yeah. The only thing you owe me is to go out there and walk with a limp, okay? Because you got to step different now. But we have our baseline established, and I'm doing a mid to high fade. I kind of like mixing some because I might do high fade, but I'll keep my fade focused in the mid area, and I'll angle it downward. That way, I have a stronger, more prominent outline perimeter, and I'll have a higher fade. So it's kind of like that Boosie fade, if you will, the south side fade. All right, be safe. All right, so now we have our guideline. What I'm going to do from this point is what each barber will do differently. One may use a full shaver, one may use a straight razor and traditional. For time purposes here, I am going to use the full shaver because I just want to go ahead and clean up my bottom area. All that stubble. You have foil shavers that are made to clean only stubble. And again, I like to over disinfect. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to grab my duster brush, and I'll take it and I'll dust the inside of my full shaver for any old remnants of hair. I'll dust it out. I'll blow it off. I'll come back and I'll use a good 5-in-1. Spray it from the sides, top. If you really want to get injured, you can take this off, pop it out and clean it. But this one does efficiently for me. Clean that, and I'll spray it on the inside of the full shaver, and I'll spray it on the back side of the full. The top side and the underside. I'll spray it on both, and I'll let that kind of sit there and get a nice little bit of, 7-10 seconds of disinfecting because you want to make sure you're disinfecting your tools. I've been in the barbering industry for a long time, and it feels good to have clients to not come back with breakouts. I've been cutting your hair 8 years or so, and you've never had the skin breaking out. So we want to be really, really mindful about disinfecting our tools properly. Also, if you're a barber out there, this is an X-Power back, stylist barber, whatever. This came from Amazon for like $49. And I want to get rid of excess hair, I'll blow it off. But I always use it to clean my clippers and tools. So and I'll make sure it's all good. I like to go back to with a little bit of hot air sometimes just to go ahead and really, really dry any spots that may be around that bit dry. But that's good. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean up this line. Now, one of my rules of thumb is I like to stop directly in between no hair and some hair. So I'll take, and I don't believe I have one out, a 7-inch comb. I have my combs slid over and moved, so. But just trying to get a comb to show you how much I actually leave out. I'll take, this is a 7-inch comb, y'all can see it. So usually in between where I balled out and not, I'll usually leave out about a half of an inch. That way I have bald and then a tiny fragment of hair, and then it can gradually go up with the fade. So you'll see me right now using my full shaver. If you're not familiar with a full shaver, once you use a full shaver, when you get rid of the hair, you won't hear the sound anymore. So right now there's hair. Listen now. Now that the hair is gone, you hear nothing. It's smoother than a big old baby's backside. Right? So now we have that skin really, really clean. It's smooth. And this is going to get rubbed on. Somebody somewhere is going to rub on this. And right now it happens to be me. But we're going to keep it going. You want to do this around the entire perimeter. Left side. When you get right here behind the ear, some people struggle with the amount of room you have. So turn left for me. The amount of room you have, because this is really wide. The way this is angled, flip it upside down and just use the single foil to get right up in tighter crevices. And then work your way from this side all the way around. And before you do this, you want to make sure you have all the hair cut down to a stubble, because it will not cut longer hair. This is only made to cut stubble. Right? And again, I still have that little bit of residual hair in between. But now we have a true ball fade. Now, some people don't get ball fade. Of course, if you don't do that, then you don't have to do this part. If you want to do this just to skin or number one or half, it is completely up to the barber and the client. Barber, stylist, client, whoever is executing the cut. Right? So now I have that all nice and neat. And this is the time to be tedious. It pays to be tedious. You don't want to have to go back and redo this. Make sure this is completely clean. If you see an area where it's not, let me zoom in right here, Kat. And I don't know if you can pitch the screen and zoom in, but look down for me. Right here, this hair is still a little bit longer than what the foil shaver would have cut. You want to make sure those things are cut.
It won't focus.
If it doesn't zoom, it's okay. I just wanted them to see and know that if you don't cut it all down, there will be a little piece of hair. There will be a little piece of hair. So right here, I'm just going to go in and make sure all that hair is gone. Those little stubble pieces are gone. Another reason why you want to make sure all the long pieces are gone is because if you do not, then this foil shaver, some of those long pieces can get caught in these holes, and it will yank, pull, and it can cut in an array of things. So we now have this, and we're going to move on to our fade portion. This is nice and smooth down. And I don't know how it looks on the screen, but it should be smooth. How's that looking, Nick? Is it looking smooth?
Smooth as a baby's bottom.
Yes, sir. All right, and now we're going to go on to our fade portion. This is obviously my favorite part because I love to do a good ball fade. I love to do a good fade in general. So we're going to pull down one pair of my favorite clippers. And I'm going to grab here. So we're going to keep his hair to essentially a number one guard. This is a number one guard right here. And I'm going to go with the grain on top just to smooth and get any of those pieces that are sticking up. Is Kyle leaving?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you said it out?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I want a pancake for after class. I just got a craving for food because I skipped breakfast. So again, right now we're just smoothing the hair down to a number one. It's already essentially one, but I want to make sure we get any of those pieces that are stubborn and sticking up. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and jump right into our 1, 2, 3 portion, which is the fade, right? And what I mean by 1, 2, 3 is this is all the way closed. This is halfway open. This is all the way open. When you have it all the way closed, these two blades are aligned. The cutting blade and the steel blade, action blade and steel blade are aligned as much as it can be when they're closed. When it's open, the stationary blade is further away from the cutting blade. So when you close them, they're close. When they're open, they're further away as far away as can be. Each clipper is different. Some may, when it's open, be a number one. Some may be a 0.5. It depends on the specifications by the clipper company and what's on the box. But for right now, we're going to start it at number one. And the way this technique works is very simple. If the clipper is closed, then when you cut the hair, it's going to leave the hair that long. When out, it's going to leave the hair this long. When it's open,
gotta bring that in front of a thing I can focus on. Pull her down in front of that black. See if it'll focus better.
Is that better?
That's better. That's better.
When I have it all the way closed, the hair is left that long.
Mm-hmm.
When I have it halfway open, the hair is left that long. When I have it all the way open, the hair is left that long. Not the scale, obviously, but you know what I mean. Now, if we work only one section right here from front to back at position closed, then the hair will be that long. And as we go up, the hair will have nothing to do but to graduate away from the scalp. So it literally will do the work for you. And this is exactly what I mean. We're going to go ahead and work on position number one all the way closed. And we're going to start from front to back, and we're going to go right here. And I'll go slower so you can see the exact strokes. I'm going to go up and I'm going to use a scooping motion. Up, drop, diagonal, up, diagonal, drop, up, diagonal, drop, up, diagonal, drop, up, diagonal, drop, up, diagonal, drop. So I'm using scooping motions. Now you want to use your wrist for wider strokes, and you want to use your finger flicks in a rocking motion to do tighter strokes. Now, right now, you may not see that as prominent as I see it, but that's already lower than this is. So again, from front to back, 1, forward. All right. We're going to open it halfway, and now we're going to work this line right here. And we're going to keep it ideally in the same place, just with a little bit of a wider swing, and it will automatically create that blend for me. Brush it down. Number 3, all the way open. And look, I'm working my way up. Now, a couple of things that I want to point out that I'm doing right here, so everybody can be clear that this is important. The way I put my guideline in is how I follow it with the clippers. So because this is like that, I'm going to go here. If I have this line curved, then I will cut this way. I have it straight, so this follows that line. All right. And again, we're going to go back and repeat that. 1, all the way closed. When it's closed, I'm cutting from here to here. When it's open halfway, I'm cutting from here to here. When it's open all the way, I'm cutting from here to here. And it will literally just fade it away for you. All right. And you can go as high as you want. If you feel like going up higher to take that blend higher, this is when it's up to the barber or stylist to control that blend. So 1, if I want the fade to be a blurrier fade, I'll widen my strokes. And those rocking motions are important because that's going to create the graduation. So you don't chase a weight line all day. If you use your arm and go up, you're going to chase a weight line all day. So you want to make sure you have that scooping motion going. Now we're going to drop down to our next lowest guard and to the bottom. But before that, remember the Reuzel method. What you do on one side, you do on the other side. So because we went here and did 1, 2, 3, we're going to switch to the right side and do the exact same thing. 1 from front to back. Slow. Right here at the bottom. Brush it. Open it slightly higher. Open it to the halfway position. Slightly higher. And then open it all the way. Slightly higher. Now, right now, you can't really see this as much and as well as you will be able to once it's finished. But that's only because we're on our first guard at 3 different positions, intervals. Now we're going to drop down to our next lowest guard. And we're going to focus our sights lower. So let me grab this bad boy. And we're going to focus our sights lower. So we're going to go back to the style we began with. And now we're with a 0.5 guard. And we're going to go right here and focus on this line. So from front to back, position number 1, we're repeating it just lower. And watch how the fade begins to reveal itself. 1, brush, open it halfway, and go slightly higher. That's our second pass. Pass number 2, I'm going to go back towards the front, brush it, and you already have a very good blend so far. And we're going to open it all the way and go slightly higher. Again, we're not going all the way up here because that's where we went with the number 1. We want to stay lower and focus on that lower blend. And this is just how you work a line more than one way. All right, and now we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. This is just to make a person form a habit of getting that consistent end result. Again, I'm focusing on that bottom line. Scoop, diagonal drop, scoop, diagonal drop, scoop, diagonal drop. Spade back up. For those of you who really, really want to be efficient, you can stretch the skin. Notice that it may look like I'm going up high, but I'm already off the scalp by the time I get right here. So that's important with that scoop motion. Now I'm going to go ahead and just do my Keon and blend it. This is when it pays to be that barber who is precise, who is tedious, who pays attention to detail. You do not want to miss a thing. And now we're going to go ahead, because I'm feeling good about that. And I'm going to take this off completely and go with no guard. So we're going to start back where we began at, and now we're going to focus on this very bottom line between the bald and the hair. So I'm going to close it all the way again. And right there, I'm going to go from front to back. And that's one pass, two passes. Halfway open, slightly higher, front to back. Back to front. All the way open, slightly higher. And look at that fade. It just works and it builds itself out, right? So now we're going to go ahead and drop to the right side. Again, we're going to switch to the right side because, again, Reuzel method, left, right. Do, repeat. Do, repeat. Execute, repeat. And that's how you can keep that consistency. So we're going to go from front to back now, right here. And we're going to open halfway and repeat. And look at that blend on its own coming alive. All the way open. And now we have our fade, but now it is time for us to really get tedious, and we want to make this line seem so seamless that you can hardly tell where it's at. So now we have to, after you feel good about how you refined and went back and you making sure you feel this is even on both sides, you're going to step back, you're going to look at it, turn your head left, turn your head to the right. All right, so I'm going to feel like that's really good on my blend. I'm going to keep doing my due diligence right here. I want to make sure this client comes back. This is that extra mile you go. When you see barbers doing this and it feels like they're just not doing anything and making really good Instagram content for people to be like, oh, he's so accurate. No, it's really, really that tedious. You have to work it. So I'm going to go back to what I started with, and I'm going to grab my balder because this is what I put my baseline, weight line, guideline in with. Once you, whatever you put it in with, use that to take it out. So if you use a trimmer to put it in, use a trimmer to take it out. If you use a balder to put it in, use a balder to take it out. Right here, and this is again how I do it. So right here in those lines, I'm going to go, instead of going from front to back, I'm doing the same thing, I'm just starting from back to front. And right now I'm stretching the skin and I'm just working right there where that fade is. If you notice, I just went in complete reverse order. I used the clippers, balding clippers, and then I used a full shaver, and then I used my clipper. Now I use my clipper, and now I'm back to, I use my regular clipper for blending. Now I'm back to my balding clippers, and then I'll end it off with my full shaver to really blend. But look at that blend now. And so if you get close enough, then all you'll see is this little bit of a line that I have to get rid of right there. Right? So I'm going to go to the right side and do the same exact thing. And now if she gets back close again, you can see I have a little bit of that residual weight line left. And again, I'm just working right in that area so you can see that seamless ball fade. And already our fade is looking really good. What do y'all think about this fade? Drop some comments. Also, I would love to hear what are some of your favorite Reuzel products. If you can, comment in there. If we have any Scumbassadors in here, sound off and tell us where y'all at. We love to know where our watchers are watching from. Also, Reuzel is constantly coming out with new tips and tricks and updates on products and shows. And right now, we currently need more models for Premiere Orlando. So if you are a Scumbassador watching or someone just attending, if you know somebody in Orlando that will be at the show that needs their haircut, make sure to reach out to Nicholas Fury, myself, or any other Scumbassador because we need more models and we love to have more models. We love to have a variety. We love to have backups. There can never be too many models. Never. All right? Also, Burtis and Lean have an upcoming tour, and we need models and people for that. So let's just get the word out there consistently. But for now, I've now worked it from left to right, and you'll be able to see that our blend is really good. Our last step to the blend is going to be using the same exact thing we put that real baldness in with to take it out with. So because we use a full shaver, and even if you use razors, you can still use this. You want to use this to get rid of that weight line. I don't press firmly, I just tap at it. So I softly tap. This is firm holding it. This is like loose. And I just loosey-goosey it a little bit right around that line. And that'll blend it in even more. So right there, that little place, I'll just barely tap and randomize where I tap at to really soften that blend a little bit more. Because if you use this too firmly, you can create another weight line. And that's with any full shaver. So you want to gently tap. And then last but not least, I'm Keon and I'm really tedious. So I'll go in with a trimmer too and just right in those places. I'll work with corners and I'll just tap some. I use the front. I'll use the sides. I'll use the back. I'll do all these things to achieve that nice and really soft blended line. Yep, and now that we have that, I'm going to turn them around and we're going to get started on our edge up, which is our perimeter, all right? So this is a good point for you to go ahead and just talk to the client and see what they want on their beard. A lot of people wear their beard really natural. If you have some people who are really big beard enthusiasts, they might not ever touch their beard, just clean it, soften it, foam it. That's when it's good times to break out your beard foam, your beard deodorizer, our beard refresh, our beard line. This is a great time to tell that client about that because all of my clients already love the beard balm and the beard serum and the beard refresh, especially my guys who chew dip, who smoke, because that smell soaks into that beard. And if it's one person you can ask the spouse how it feels to lay next to a beard that smells like menthol and grizzly winter cut long green, okay? It's okay. Just pull out that beard refresh, throw some of it in there, get your towel blotted, and go out there and dip, baby, dip. And I don't mean 69 boys. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little bit of spritz around the perimeter of the hairline and the beard because it is something that I like to use to really define perimeter outline. Now, you see a lot of barbers doing this. A lot of barbers now are using like the pens to paint the outline and stuff like that. I'll be honest, I won't knock those people, but I personally do not recommend doing that. I don't like doing it. To each his or her own. If they'll pay you more to do it, then do it. But over here, we like to focus on the skill and executing a good cut over making it look like a good cut. We want it to be a good cut. And when it grows out, they'll be a lot more appreciative of you as the barber stylist. And I'm actually going to use some gel on the beard. But we have that. Throw in the trash, and I'll let it dry. It takes seconds to dry. But you can give it a little speed up with your blow dryer. What time do we have?
I can't see your clock, actually.
Hey, Keon.
Yes.
Hey, Keon, just checking in. Letting you know where we got everybody watching from today. A bunch of viewers from the U.S. We got some viewers from Sweden. Lots of love. Lots of people loving the slow motion examples. Appreciate the fact that we're doing a different type of haircut today. So lots of love. It's looking great, man. Keep it up.
Superb. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. And again, no question is a bad question, only a question unasked. Okay? So ask any question unless it's about my love life. I'm going to be single forever. I'm going to marry me. All right? And we're back. So whenever I'm doing a perimeter, shape up, edge up, it has many names. I'll start in the center and I'll work my way from center to right or left. So right here, I'm just going to start right in the center. And if you know something you're going to notice about me when I'm cutting hair, my counterbalancing, I'll take my thumb and I'll use my thumb here. I've done it since I started cutting. It's just a thing that helps me. And I'll use it almost like gyroscopic technology. Like, so you know how astronauts, when they're getting ready to go out of space, they have to get in the ball where they spin in every direction to be able to handle re-entry and exit because you're going at intense and highly high speeds and altitudes. So I like to do this to help me counterbalance when I'm cutting straight left, and it keeps me guided. It keeps me almost on a system like typography or something like that. So we have this, and we're starting from the center, and I'll work my way towards the right. A trick is to just establish the outline. I'll cut and pull away. Cut and pull away, cut and pull away, cut and pull away, and then to define, I'll press against. Of course, you don't want to spend time, you don't want to push a client's hairline back too far from this natural position. Of course, if all completely up to the client, if they tell you, and I'll switch sides with you real quick, right here. If the client always has their preferences, you follow the client's preferences. I've been cutting him a very, very long time, and I know his preferences. I also know mine, and he's more of a client who trusts me to do what I do, so I do what I do for him. All right. Now we have our first edge up, and let me get it right here, so that's better lighting, like right over there, so y'all can see that line up. And you have me. One thing that you'll notice about me is before I put my trimmer on, I'll rest my trimmer on my finger when I'm cutting. I'll go ahead and put my finger on the skin first, and then I'll have my trimmer ready to cut. That way I got tension. And then when I release it, you'll see the hair go back, the skin. So I'll literally grab just enough tension, cut it, and then send it back. And that's that for that shape up. And let me switch sides, and I'll keep it back at that distance right there so y'all can get a good overall visual. All right. Now, naturally, his hairline wants to go up to one side. It recedes a little bit. So I just do my thing to match it. And I oftentimes, I won't go up at all where it recedes at to match it. I'll go ahead and get my shape up going. And then I'll get over to this side where I'm going to. And once I get to this corner, I'll match the top appropriately, accordingly. So I have my corner now. I'm stretching. And you can see my line.
Other side.
You can see my corner right there.
There we go.
Stretch. So look, again, right here with my finger. Stretch. Stretch. And then I'll rest my trimmer on my finger. That way it's held in place. And I'll let it go. All right. So now we have all that. And then again, really tedious. You can never, ever over blend. So we have our shape up. We have our shape up and we have our shape. Now this is when I'm just fine tuning. I'm looking at it and I'm seeing where the recession lies versus where my line on my other side is that is stronger or more prominent. And the only thing I'll do with the most is I'll match the hairline to the closest bit of recession. And that way you have a straight and consistent hairline. That side is where the hairline likes to recede a little bit. So I just match both sides to it and we're good to go. Now for this beard portion, if I want your client, sometimes we'll keep it super full like so. We'll go up and we'll keep it nice and full the way you see this line at. I actually need to charge this one a little bit, so I'm gonna switch it out. I have too many of those trimmers to choose from. If I can find where I put them.
You've got another one. You've got your detailer over here too.
Yep, that one, and I have one more that I want to use. I switched it up, but I have detailers laid everywhere, right? So if you notice something up here, is I call this a point of anchor. This is to make sure you have a place you can anchor down on while you're cutting. So some people might try to freestyle this and cut in the air, but that's a lot of work. And honestly, why are we working that hard? I like to take and disrespect my clients. I'll put my hand wherever, be like, yo, girl, what you doing this weekend? Oh, no, man. You still dating that girl? Tiffany told you she was going to put a bunny in the pot. All right, we're back. And I'm going to go ahead and find me a point of anchor. That way I'm comfortable in when I'm cutting. And I can swing this like a pendulum now. So I can literally go here and edge with just a corner for that curved area. And I'll get down to where I want this to be. We really haven't been keeping here super full lately. So I'm just going to go down and cut into it a little bit because we have control over his beard. We can put it wherever we want it at. Right? Right? So I'm just going to go up in here and now back here. I'm going to go and just create a nice shape because this is how he likes to wear his beard. Notice that I always pre-stretch that skin. You might not see it, but every time my finger touches that skin, I stretch it.
You can tell.
Because tension is important. Even if you're a tattoo artist stretch the skin for tension. That way they can get a consistent, strong line, and they go. So all this is here. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my comb because now we're down to a portion where we need the comb at. I like using both during it, so I'm going to go ahead and get this, and I just want to keep his beard right here. So I'm going to go in and make my first pass. Then I'm going to follow it down from where I did that. Sometimes we'll keep his beard. Sometimes we'll do the goatee. Other times we'll do the big beard. We'll do the smooth shadow. We really switched the beard up to how he's feeling. Remember when you put that goatee last time I went to Florida? Mm-hmm. Came back with 13 kids. There you go. And we have one side of that clean. Mm-hmm. I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to repeat this on the opposite side. Again, every time we do something, we just switch to the other side. And me, I can use this from wherever. So I can be right here.
I was showing the comparison.
Oh, yeah. This is not even finished, of course. This is just our rough sketch. But I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to start from here. Notice again where my hand is anchored up near his eye. But right here, I'm pretty good at eyeballing this part. So I'm just going to... So you'll see. All right. Sorry. Fold the lip down. And now we're going to go over here, and we're going to start at the top of our lip. And we're going to work down and build that right into where our facial structure stops at. We're going to corner and corner. And we're going to repeat the same thing on the opposite side. Also, anybody watching that is not already signed up to go to Premier Orlando, if you want to attend a kind of cool, kind of big, kind of popular, kind of important hair show this year, Premier Orlando is right around the corner in June 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. It's like a week plus away. And Reuzel is going to be at booth 51, 57 with a lot of beautiful faces, including my own, Lord willing. I am set to have a surgery on the 25th of this month for my oral dental. I'm getting all new teeth, so I'll be healing up, but I'm going to make sure that I get down there to Premier Orlando to show my face, and I hope and I'm healed up and everything is good enough for me to be able to work exactly like I am now for you all in person, for those who want to see it. All right, and then we have to go ahead and do the back side and the underside, and then we'll keep this thing going. How's it going, everybody?
Keon, I got a question.
Yes.
The question is, which corner of the trimmer do you lead with as you're cutting into the curve on the beard?
All right, good question. So when you're on the right side and left side, so when I'm on the right side, I turn this way. When I'm cutting, going up, I use the right side. When I'm going up, I use this corner right here, that right corner, and I'll drop it down so y'all can see without a shadow. But when I'm going up, I'll work it with that corner. When I'm going down, I work with the left corner closest to me. So whenever I'm on the opposite side of the face, if I'm on the right side, then I'll go up with right, and I'll go down with left. If I'm on the left side, I'll go down with right. I'll use the right corner. And then when I go up, I use the left corner. So left side, left corner up, right corner down. Right side, right corner up, left corner down. If that makes sense. And then, of course, right here, I'll go ahead and comb it. And I'll do that, relax the lip just a little bit more. And I like to expose that lip line. I call it the LL Cool J, like the LL lip line. Because LL Cool J, I was always licking his lips and just... Go ahead, baby. So let me go ahead and make sure my guy feels that smooth. Right into that corner. And again, with this side, I'll comb it, and you can see right there. And that's just for this specific look. Some people like the hangover and embrace it. Some people like the super clean. So I have both of those cleaned out, right? And now I'm going to lean him back because I'm about to do a lot of refining on the inside and exterior, and everything will be good. Let me lean you back. I have to do this portion because I didn't do that yet. You see the difference? I dropped the comb. I'll disinfect that later. Let me throw this over here. Sanitizer. And we're about to go ahead and clean the inside of this up, and then we're going to go ahead and pull our straight razor out, and we're going to finish the perimeter with a straight razor. How am I doing so far? Everybody talk to me. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you wish I would shut up? Do you want me to talk more? Turn here. And again, let me grab a replacement comb. I can do this all day. All right? And again, we're going to go down here and we're just going to repeat what we did on the opposite side. We're going to clean up behind. One of the other things that I do when I'm back here on this part, if I really want to make it clean, I'll go in and I'll comb this furthermost hair against the line towards me and I'll cut it. That way, whenever it's worn and he's out there and he styles it or brushes it or whatever, it looks like it did when he left me. So right here. And I'm going to go ahead and clean all this hair up. So now we have our nice, strong, definitive line on that back. And then we're going to go right here. And I'm going to comb it down. And right here on that perimeter again. There. Nice and neat. And then down here, I'm just going to get all of that and cut it away. Nice and neat. Now, of course, I will come back and refine that full beard in a little bit. But for right now, we have all that gone. Fold the lip back for me. I'll have him fold the lip back and I can go straight across. Now notice when you have him bend it down, it'll fold, so relax it. You can see what it looks like relaxed. All right, now stretch it again. I'm gonna go in here and I'm just gonna get rid of all that. This is one of the looks that he likes. I retained that over the course of doing his hair, so I know exactly what to give him again. And I like to kind of alternate how I do it, so I'm gonna go in here. And now this part, some people may have trouble with because it's such a tight space. Have the client do this. Tongue or blow. So I'll say, put your tongue right there. And look, right there, when he does that, it helps me expose that tight part. And I'll get in there like this, down to the single hair. Right in that corner. Right here where I come off that lip line at. Right into a perfect curve into that bottom. So now we have this area to where it's a nice shape for this look that he likes. All right, and relax it right there. And then right here, again, same thing on the opposite side. I'm getting in close. And again, working with those corners are going to be some of your best buddies. We have that there. And now I'm going to go ahead and relax it. Fold this back a little bit right there, just slightly. And I'll go ahead and I'll angle it right here. Thank y'all so much. Also, can I give a big shout out to my team, my staff, my shop manager who is currently holding my camera. Her name is Kat. She's incredible. Y'all will see her face at Premier Orlando. Also, the one that just subbed in for the camera holder was named Corrigan. She is the most amazing thing ever. Sometimes we tell jokes that are super appropriate together. Don't be thrown off by the evil laugh in the background. That was a confirmation of yes.
Super appropriate.
All right.
Hey,
now,
Keon.
yes.
We asked for product suggestions. No one really chimed in, so go ahead and use what you want to use on the beard and haircut today.
All right, so as we get ready to finish the styling, I'm going to use a couple different things. Number one, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my hair and beard straightener. This is the Cushion Bar Pro by Jeff Chastain, and I'm going to turn it on. And I'm going to go to blue, which is 380 degrees Fahrenheit, and just let it sit for about a minute or two so it can heat up. I'm going to go ahead and throw a protectant in that beard. Now, of course, you have this. This is our beard serum, clean and refresh. And it states on here, apply 2 to 3 drops of beard serum to soften and tame beard while hydrating the skin underneath. Also works as an excellent shaving oil. Caution, keep out of reach of children. We don't have to read all that. But this is very simple. You just apply 2 to 3 drops on there, and you let it sit in there, and you help it to soften and tame it. I'm going to do it in combination with something else, which is a heat protectant. I'm just going to use an oil that's a heat protectant. Intentional, instead of using a spray heat protectant, 1 or 2 drops. course, there's nothing that competes with Reuzel is Olaplex, which is something completely different from Reuzel. It's a product that you mainly use, stylists mainly use versus barber. I'm going to throw it in there just for the heat protectant, and that's all good. I'm going to comb it through. I'm going to comb it through, and I'm going to let that be worked all in there, right? Because I like it. And I'll finish off with my beard serum because that stuff just smells excellent. Beard serum and my beard balm. Now that that's in there, I'm going to let it get in there good, and then I'm going to use my beard straightener, and then I'm going to probably sculpt that after because it's all nice and neat. Once you use this beard straightener, the hair will literally go one direction. So if you have it going left, right, up, down, when you use that beard straightener, the goal is to get it to go one direction so it looks really smooth and tame, that I can give it a very efficient trim for the look that he wants. And it heats up pretty fast, so right now it's still going. So right now is a good time for me to assess any and every little detail of this cut that I do or do not like. Now, something else I can do while I'm waiting for him is I can go ahead and do my straight razor portion. Lean back. I don't know why I lifted him up from that in the first place. But while we're waiting for my beard straightener, I'm going to go ahead for time management purposes and go ahead and do a straight razor shape up. Now I'm going to have to steal a straight razor from my fellow employee because I just ran out and have to go to the store. Don't do this.
Are you tiptoeing? Where'd you get?
I was tiptoeing. Add to the effect. All right. So they also said this would make a really great shaving agent for it. So I'm going to actually use a little bit of that for a shaving agent because I haven't done that yet.
The serum?
Yes, the serum. So I'm going to put some of that on, and I'm just going to go hit his perimeter. I mean, obviously, there's a million different things you can use to shave, but I'm going to go ahead because it said it will act as a really good shaving agent. Let's put that to the test.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And ideally, I just put this on all the areas that I plan on doing the straight razor on. Now I have my straight razor. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start with this side. So I have it. I'm going to stretch the skin. This is going to be at a 30-degree angle, and I'm going to. So you'll see it.
Ooh,
going.
there we go.
Right. Got it. Now I'm going to go up here. Stretching the skin. A slight amount of stroke with the blade. I couldn't be the client right now. I'd be asleep. Right? So I'm going to go ahead and work my way all the way from one side to the other. All right, and turn that way for me. I love this part. It's just so soothing, relaxing, and it really, really, really seals the deal on the cut and the freshness. So I'm going to turn the chair right here, and I'm going to make sure you can see me. All right there. Pretty good.
Actually, I'm going to come in kind of a little annoying.
Each moment we share. Y'all can't see right now the position me and her in, but all I can say is HR would probably have me in the office because parts of my back is touching her front.
It's a very intimate.
It is intimate the way it shaves someone's face, but that's teamwork. All right, so I'm going to stretch it, and I'm going to work from top. Now, here's the cool part. Up top, I am using so you have the heel point. You have the heel and you have the point. So up top, I'm using the point. And I'm going to go ahead and look at that little bitty hair right there. If I see any little hair, I will eliminate it, right? So look, but right here, I'll get rid of all this little hair. And as we go down, I'll use more of the full blade in this area right here as I'm stretching it. And then when I get down here, you'll see me using more of the heel. So right here, I'll have the client even stretch it all the way out for me, like this. Perfect, just like that. And I'll get right up in there, and you'll see that full thing, right? So I'm going to do that to the other side. Well, I'm going to actually finish this side first, and I'll repeat on the other side. All right, fold the lip down. So right here, I'll go from top and work my way down to this bottom corner. That way this matches the side. And that is a whole beard connected to each other above the lip and on the side of the face. You see that? And we'll take the camera up a little bit higher so y'all can see it from a high sky view. That side has been done with the razor and that side has not. I'm going to go ahead and finish my detailing with that. My beard straightener is already heated and waited for me, so I'm just going in here now and I'm going to retain. And as I get into that curve, if I struggle, blow it out for me like that, and I will have him blow it out and stretch, and I'll get the corners and sides and interiors. Work all of that, all right? So I'm going to switch to the other side now. I'll get up here and I'll do the same thing from right here. Stretching, work it, stretch it, work it, stretch it, work it, stretch it, breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. All right, and now we have that side nice and neat and done with the razor. And I'll bring them up a little bit so y'all can see me kind of like at a forward straight on area. Lean your head back, and I'll actually put it right here for me and hold it for the lip down, just like that. So right here, I'll get up underneath that nose area. Look at that. This is whenever it really pays to be tedious, attentive to detail. And we're almost finished with this cut. What do y'all think so far? Drop some comments. All right, and as we're doing that, I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to really, really, really define that little bad boy. This cut is looking really, really great on him. And this is how we've done it. And also, I got to tell you, Reuzel, that beard serum did act as a really great agent for shaving with the razor. I am impressed. I haven't done that before. All right. I'm a Scumbassador and I have not used the serum to shave. All right. So again, I'm just going there and I'm making sure I like where the line is. You want to throw a little part in here, man? Well, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit spunky because I'm me. We're going to throw a nice little part in there. A little player from the Himalayas. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm going to go right here. And I'm just going to create something simple. I'm going to comb that away. I'm going to use my trimmer to tap against. The bottom is sharp. I want to make sure that top is, so I'll brush it down and I'll hit that. Superb. I have that in there. So now I'm going to go back with my straight razor. And right in there, I'm going to go and slight little pizzy pump of the oil. Slight little pump of the oil, and I'm going to clean that line up. And not only will I clean the line up on the bottom, but I clean that line up on the top as well. That way we know it is clean. All right, so I'm going to go down here on the bottom, the top, stretch it, and I'm going to razor up towards the top side as well. And that way, I'll see what I'm working with. I'll see what I am working with. And then where did I put my trimmer? Right there. And then let me turn them in the mirror real quick so I can see what I look like. If I like where I'm at. Oof. All right. And in a moment, I'm going to probably match this out a little bit low over there, but I want y'all to just see the essentials and the basics of how this line work really looks and goes. And now at this point, we're going to go ahead and do one of our finishing moves because we're almost to the part where we get the style. As y'all all know, one of my favorite parts. So now we have it. And I'm going to go ahead and use my beard straightener and I'm going to brush. And one of the rules of thumb is I like to start at the bottom, comb some down a little bit, and then slide. What I like about this is these don't heat up, only the interior. So you can touch the skin and it won't burn it or any of that. And I'll just slide through one pass, two, nice. Pull a little bit more hair down and I'll pull some from up here. And I'll get it all the direction I want it to go. If I want it to go this way, I'll brush it that way, right? So sometimes I like to put my hand behind it if it's long enough and catch the hair and just brush it. But look at how that looks already. going one direction. And I don't mean the band. Did you get it? The band joke, Corrigan? The band joke? I said I'm going one direction, and I don't mean the band. All right, I'm back. We're cleaning it up. Nice, smooth. That was a little dad joke. I just want you all to know that I used to study up under some phenomenal educators. I used to study up under Nicholas Furry. He was on the second floor. I was on the first. And that will be the only dad joke told here today. All right, so we have it nice. Turn this side. I'm going to go down here again and repeat. Start at the bottom. Now we're here. I sound like Obama a little bit when I said that. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. Listen to me, America. You start at the bottom and then go to the top. You'll be here. All right. And we have a nice, beautifully intentionally direction beard. I got it going where I wanted it. Right here. I'm just going to stretch it out. Nice. And now I'm going to go ahead and sculpt and carve it. Also, another thing you can do, if you don't want to do that method, you can get you a round brush. And you can get in there. And round brush and blow dry it. And if you round brush it, it'll go more under. Right? It'll go more under. If you round brush it, it'll go more under. And now we're about to finish this thing up. The longer beards, if you really want control, get some water, get a nice heat protectant oil, throw it in there, use the beard serum even, and just round brush it. And you get that nice shape. And now that we have that, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do some freehand sculpting and carving. How am I doing, Nick? You liking this so far? How are they liking it? Talk to me, baby.
Hair and beard look great. Lots of compliments. Looks awesome, Keon. Hello from Albania. We got some more European viewers checking in. So this is like watching a master sculptor. It looks great. They appreciate you. Awesome presenter. You're doing great.
All right, so now that we're getting close to the end portion of this cut, I'm going to show you a couple things. If you want to create this shape, like watch this, I'm going to comb it. And now I'm going to bring this beard to a nice, ideal shape. And also, this is a great point to, it's also a great time for you to go and share that, you know what, the step ladder.
Oh my gosh, yes, the step ladder.
Somebody grab the step ladder because you can get right there and get a nice area view. It's the small one. It's in the back room. I think it's in the back room this time.
I mean,
but I'll
honestly,
brush this and comb it, right? So if y'all get like a little bit level, let's get the level like right here. Bring it right here.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. So I'm going to show y'all how it will look once you do your sculpt and carve. Now that it's been combed with the beard comb, it's all going one direction. Again, not the band. Don't be mistaken. I'm going to use a clipper with a flat blade, nice flat blade, lays flush and level, and I'm going to go straight in. When you want to get those looks, that looks exactly right. And since I have it shaped like that, now I can go from the exterior, and that's when you can get on the step ladder. Here you go.
Up.
Step above me. All right, tilt this way, and you'll be able to see it going down. All right,
okay.
So you can get right there, and you'll see it turn that way. I'm gonna go ahead and smooth it. But this is when I go and I get all the hair that is longer than the majority of the hair. Of course, again, I try to comb it all towards it. That way I don't get too much of the length. I just want to make this shape when I'm sculpting and carving. So I'm going to go down. And this is, again, for those clients who wear this look, I understand completely there are times when I won't be able to cut the perimeter, only the bottom, because I'm just adjusting the length. But now if you step back here with the camera and get back here from where I'm standing, you'll see that beard has a nice shape no matter where you look. All right, and get over this side. I'm going to do this side again. We can stay a little bit further back right there. Brush comb, straight in. Create a guide, follow that guide. Now I have a really well sculpted beard. of course, this is one of the other times you can grab your shears and really go to work. I'm going to grab a pair of my shears. And this is also something for barbers who are out there. Come out, show you a little cool thing, a little life hack. So I'm going to go grab them and show these to y'all real quick. Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot. These are damage-free hanging hooks, removed cleanly. They are medium wire hooks, so they're very clear. But look up on my station. If you notice, this is how I have my clippers hanging up on the side of my station. These are very, very strong, stronger than every relationship I've ever been in. All right, and now we have his nice, beautiful beard. I'm going to go over it one last time with my straight razor, just lightly crop dust it, and I like to give it a nice little dry slide just over it so I can get that look. And we like natural, beautiful beard lines. I don't, again, like to enhance anything. So we have his beard line. Let me look him in the mirror. Cat, I don't want to hit you perfectly. All right, you like his cut? Love it. I love it, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and get my styling portion of it. Before I do that, I'm going to go with my shears and do any of my fine tuning. Now, of course, this isn't a long range cut, so you can't cross check. But what you can do is be tedious and go back and repeat what you did previously. I'm going to go in and I'm going to take my number one more time, and I'm going to go just skim in case I miss any pieces that were sticking up and long. I'm going to skim those. Right? I'm going to skim. I'm going to really refine my blend. If I see any little part that I feel like I didn't like, I'm going to refine it. I like it though, so I don't have to do much refining. I'm going to go down. I'm going to adjust it right there. I feel like I can just smooth it a little more. Notice my arm is locked though. The only reason my arm is moved is because of my wrist and my natural pull of wrist and finger strokes. Now you have a very, very nice executed cut. The client's happy. I'm happy. The only person that isn't happy is my ex-wife. Should have more evidence. Anyway, here we go. And I'm going to go ahead and use my 0.5 guard that I used earlier. So I find where I put it, all right? My 0.5, and the reason for I'm using my 0.5 is I'm going to skim over it just slightly and really nip any loose pieces.
Going with the grain.
Yep, going with the grain. And I'm just hovering above and nipping small loose pieces. You'll see them flying. Smooth. All right. And again. And if you notice that nice swirl pattern coming directly from his crown, swirls out and just sliding across. And just sliding across, and just sliding across, and just sliding across. You want to be really careful not to slide too much and create any bad spaces, and that's all good. Now I'm going to finish off with my last two things. My pair of shears, I'll grab a nice pair of shears. And of course, you want to make sure that you're able to do that swinging motion where you keep this blade still and you cut. So you want to make sure you can do that. So I'm just going to go over it and get some. And step back, I'll just literally go over it and get random strands that are standing up above the rest. This is when you, this is why you get paid the big bucks. Every hair in or out of place counts. All right. And I have them nice and smooth. Last but not least, before I do my products, because everybody, we made it to the product portion. Hope you've all been enjoying yourself thus far. Please tell Reuzel you like me. I've been in the hot seat a couple times. I need to get out. Okay. And I'm going to go over here now. I'm going to use my full shaver on top. This cannot cut down that hair. It's only meant to cut stubble. And what it will do is if I hit a little piece that's sticking up, it will just whack it off of there. If I see a little piece like right here, watch it. I don't see the camera right here. Okay, front. You see this little piece right here sticking out?
Kind of. Not as well on the camera.
Let's look right here from my angle. Get on my side. Right here, and you'll see it. Get that angle. And what happens is this. Try to get it right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little strand of hair that was sticking out. It doesn't matter if you see one that sticks out. Basically, if you see one that sticks out, you can go like this, touch it with your full shaver, and it'll knock it right down. Like if you see one little piece sticking up, you can touch it with the full shaver, and it'll knock it right down. Touch, zap. This is literally a pretty cool tool to just go like that, and it'll get rid of the little pieces of stubble that stick up that's allowed to catch. Don't go with the grain. Don't go against the grain. Go just smooth across it. And I'm going to go ahead and blow him off, and now I'm going to use my Reuzel product. Last but not least, air. For number one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit him with some of my beard balm. Of course, you have people that ask, which one do you do first? And this is our beard foam, and this is the beard foam leave-in conditioner. And this is our revolutionary patent pending leave-in beard conditioner. Instructions are very, very simple. It is easy to use. Dispense 2 to 4 pumps, depending on beard length, in the palms and distribute evenly through a clean towel, dry beard, mustache, and wax. Make sure to rub beard foam into the skin to where you need the beards to grow and nourish hair at the roots. Next, spread suds throughout the beard from root to tip, using a wide tooth comb to keep the beard soft and smelling fresh. Once beard is dry, apply a small amount of Reuzel's beard balm for shine and hold. So I'm going to go in here and shake it up. 1, 2, 3. And the 1, and the 2, and the... We don't need a lot because this beard isn't super big right now. I'm going to work it all around my hands, blend it in very nice and neat. That smells like a good credit score. All right. I'm going to get this into the beard, top, bottom. Get it in there, nice and worked. And we're bumping, then we're bumping, then we're bumping, then we're moving. Right? Got it in there. I'm going to comb it through. That way it's all worked in. Comb that through nice and neat right there. And it says when dry. So how do I speed that up and give myself a nice little bit of a treat? I'm just going to turn my blow dryer on and give myself a little bit of heat. And I'm going to comb it through just to help it dry a little bit faster. I don't have it on high heat. Actually, I'm going to put it on low heat setting and just blow dry. That thing looks so good. You know, when I touch, I like how it feels. It feels good. And I'm going to now go behind. And I think I'll put a little bit of that beard serum also at the end of it after I do the beard balm. But I'm going to take my beard balm, wooden spice, and I'm going to get just a semi little knuckle right there. I don't need much of this. A little bit goes a long way. Spread it. You see that nice shine on my hands. Glaze that thing.
It smells so good. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. Wooden spice is like one of the best scents ever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even know what it would be like if you had one or the other. Like, you know, what if you had the wood, but not spice? What if you had spice, but not wood? You know? What if you had a tribulation without a trial? Or what if you had a trial without a tribulation? But this wood and spice combination smells really good. It's set in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and put some of that number. I'm going to either use my red or blue. Here, I want to use the red. This is our water-soluble high shine. And this is our stronghold water-soluble. This is water-soluble high shine and our stronghold. So this one's going to be a little bit stronger than that one. But I'm going to go ahead and I just want to lay it down. His hair is really good condition. So I'm going to get about a knuckle worth of that. Not even as much as I would usually use. And work it really good into the hands. And then just glaze it across where you want it to go. Lay that thing down. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And I haven't even brushed it with the brush here, but look at how it's laying. And then I'm going to take my bad boy right here and then and look at how that's holding that down. So a lot of y'all out there, if you didn't realize for textured hair and you have wave patterns and you want to lay something down and get a really good hold to it, look at what this just did for that. That red and blue can is my go-to for textured hair and waves, and it is beautiful. I used to use it on my own hair when I did have 360 wave pattern. Look in the mirror. Look down. Look how that is laying. That is so smooth, and it has a natural shine. And then, of course, we're going to go down here and we're going to take this bad boy off, lean a little bit forward. I'm going to take this neck strip off, throw it down to the ground. I'm going to get my neck duster. I'm going to dust off all this hair. And that is our end result. How do y'all like this cut? Please like, share, comment our video so the world can see how we get down over here at Reuzel, because they're an amazing group of educators. They have upped my game. And of course, look right here, little things again. At the very end, sometimes you'll have times when you see, like right here with my fingers pointing, there might be a little bit of hair left. Get gone, brother. Get gone. We don't want any of that hair left. We want this client to be completely happy, and we want nobody in the city to be able to compete. Also, right here, Kat, at the very end, this is another trick you can do. You can go in here with the full shaver and get little pieces of that. Of course, ask the client all the time if they're sensitive to a straight razor or a full shaver. Some people are and cannot use it. Myself, I will star crutch. All right? And that is our cut on the model. Let me turn to that mirror. How you feeling, brother? And that is how you do a ball fade, zero ball fade from beginning to end, completely down to the skin, no hair. And if you zoom in on this camera, Kat, and get close to the skin, look down. Look at how smooth that is. Right? And this is the cool part. Let me show them up close. So I don't know if I can zoom with this.
I couldn't get it to do it. It just zooms this
It doesn't
way.
zoom, but look, we'll get close and you'll see nothing but skin. And as you get up, you'll see a little bit of hair. Then a little bit, a little more, and then a little more, and then you're going to the fade. So this isn't just, it doesn't look like a good cut. It is a good cut. And when they grow in, they'll grow in quite incredibly. So that is our cut for the day. I also want to go ahead and give a few things about myself. I'm Keon the Barber. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook at Keon the Barber. You can find me at Premier Orlando with Reuzel this year. I'm going to try have a surgery scheduled a week before. They're going to remove all of my teeth, very big procedure. So that's a complete other story. And I will be down healing for about a week. So hopefully by the time Premier Orlando gets here, I'm healed enough to be able to talk over microphones, because I at least want to be able to do a cut or two a day. If I can at least get a cut a day in at the booth and be there with you all, I'm going to do my best to. But thank y'all for watching this live. Any questions y'all have for me, please feel free to reach out directly and ask me tools, suggestions, any other question. If you have a certain cut you want to see, please request it. Also, thank Reuzel for always giving us a platform to keep the tradition of haircutting alive. Not the shortcuts, not the tricks, not the gimmicks, but actual technique, actual confidence, and actual know-how on a variety and vast amount of textures and types of cuts. Because all these are traditional cuts, just on different types of textures. And Nick, is there anything you want to ask me or want me to say, need me to cover? Also, again, remember, Premier Orlando booth 5157 this year. We're going to be there. Q, Nick Fury, and a list of other Scumbassadors, and we're going to be slinging the lard and spreading the greasy gospel. You know where to find us, the whole Reuzel crew. So if you want to see some beautiful faces and one kind of okay one, I'll be there. And any questions, please feel free to ask. Nick?
Hey, Keon, that was great. You did an awesome job, man. Your model looks fantastic. Thanks, Kat, for holding the camera and getting all those really nice angles. Yeah, thanks again, Keon. Thanks for doing your thing. Next week, we're actually taking a break Monday, May 30th for Memorial Day. We will return June 6th with Scumbassador Court Dingwall, I believe, from California. And as Keon mentioned, we'll be at Orlando Premiere. We're still looking for models. So if you think you got what we need, feel free to email me at nicholas@reuzel.com. And one more important note, Rob and Lane are returning to America in late June. We're going to be in Boise, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, and Phoenix. If you have the hair 3 to 5 inches on top, 1 to 3 inches on the side, and you want to be a model, feel free to email me, nicholas@reuzel.com, and we will see you June 6th.
Yep, and everybody, this is our model. Manny, I've been cutting Manny's hair for a really long time. We're almost twins. If you didn't notice, he's black, I'm Latino. It's really obvious. But we're brothers.
That's it. Thanks, Keon. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.